All right, so we are leaving for Bangalore right now, and we have 5 hour 10 minutes ride to do. Currently the time is 7:14 and we are hoping to reach by 12:24, but for me it's okay if I reach by 1 or 2 o'clock as well. Of course, we'll need to take breaks in between. So chaliye, let's see what does the last day of the ride hold for us. Stay tuned. So we've already ridden for 5 hours, for an hour or so. Non-stops at that. We have 4 minutes to go. I am looking for a medical shop as of now so that I can buy some ear plugs. The ones I had, I can't find them anymore, so it's really hurting in the ear. So as soon as I find them, I'll be a little better off, but at the same time I have to keep up the pace. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to show here as of now. On the way back, it's the same forest that you saw while I was going up. So yeah, but other than that, the weather is very pleasant. It probably will rain in a while, and this car and his ego, I swear to God, the number of dangerous overtakes he has done so far. Never mind. But yeah, the weather overall is very nice. It's not too hot, it's not raining, the air has its own little coolness, so that's working out for me. Other than that, no major updates so far. So let's keep going. And why do you have to press your brakes like that, bro? Okay, so we are in the last 100 kilometers of our trip, and hopefully by 1 o'clock I'll be at home. One thing I've noticed is that this is a rare sight. What is a rare sight? Not a scooty, but people wearing helmets, especially on the highway. Look at this, 3 people, no helmets, no helmet in sight at all. And I mean, I don't understand what oh, look at this. Wow, this person, never mind. I mean seriously, what is wrong with people wearing helmets? Like, why can't you wear a helmet? What's so bad about that? Oh, look at that, uncle is using his phone as well. Peak, absolute peak. Classify these people as chapri as well. I swear to God, it's not just the overspeeding boys, it's also these people who will be in the middle of the damn road using their phone with no caution to any traffic around them. I have a phone, I'll use it right in the middle of the road when I'm riding the bike. No patience at all. Go to the side, bro. Anyway, I mean, yeah, so we were on the Bangalore-Mysore highway, and we went through a lot of bumpers. Now we are crossing Ramnagar, and we'll connect back on the highway pretty soon. But yeah, again, no helmet. Jesus Christ. Let's see, how is he wearing his helmet? Forehead helmet. Nice. A different level of why, Anuj, why shouldn't you wear your helmet?
Hi sir, hi. Wear helmet at the back also.
And probably being driven by a minor as well. Karnataka police, if you're looking at this, please do something. This is very dangerous. Dangerous for everyone. Well, the light is not green, so what can I do? But yeah, again on the wrong side. And the number of times people have just gone from the rightmost lane to the leftmost lane without giving a dipper and a sign. I mean, emergency braking becomes a second nature at this point. Look at this uncle, look at this uncle. Common sense illa. You have to keep your eyes completely peeled on the road. Like, you have to keep looking at 10 different directions when you're going forward, because you never know which idiot decides that is their time to jump in right in front of you. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Just when I said it. This hero on Splendor, no helmet. Why? God knows. Where is his helmet? Stuck on his elbow. Because, oh, and there's a child. Swear to God, man, swear to God. Slow down, couple, slow down. This is not the road you speed on, even if you're in a rush. That's an ugly bumper. Anyway, so yeah, the last 100 kilometers, 2.5 hours ride left. Hopefully we'll do it in time. And yeah, so far everything's going pretty well. The weather is nice. It's not too hot yet. It's not too uncomfortable yet. I had planned to leave at 4 o'clock, but then I realized Koori at 4 AM would be really dark and really foggy. Visibility would be absolutely nada. So why take that risk at all? So I delayed the exit from there, and also caught some extra sleep, so that's always a good thing. Now just, but brother, don't race me. What the hell? What is this ego, bro? You go. And then there's KRSTC, KSRTC. Yep. Is the R in there for race? Because swear to God, they are always racing everyone, and they drive like they are driving an F1 car, but that's an entire bus. So any given moment they take a turn and it's scary. Anyways, I'll keep you guys updated. Let's keep going. I almost had a very close call. This guy was coming on this particular shoulder, and by God's grace, in time I was able to make a turn. That was not nice. That was absolutely not nice. And there he goes. As soon as I switch on the camera, he is okay. Anyway, that's him and his problem, not mine. He's anywhere above 100 as of now. Like, he's going at 100 ka speed. I'm not gonna race him, so let him go. Hello, let's keep you guys updated. Okay, so we are very close to home now. 92 kilometers left, so that's like another hour and a half of ride left. But before we reach home, there are certain things that I wanted to talk about with you guys, and in general about how things have been. I am not someone who's going to post very regularly on YouTube because that's not my primary source of income, nor do I plan to leave my job to pursue this full time. Why is that? A job guarantees you a stable income from month to month paychecks that you can rely on, and you can use that to do all of these things. There are a lot of influencers who will tell you do this full time, get brand collaborations, this and that. Yeah, of course, if you do something full time, you get better at it faster, you gain traction faster. But what are the chances that you'll stay relevant year after year unless you have that understanding of content? Unless you're someone like Tanmay Bhatt, who year after year knows exactly when to pivot his style of content, how to stay relevant, how to choose his audience and stay relevant amongst their audience. He knows that. So you should not aspire to just quit your job for doing this. I think my battery did die. That's off. Right, so I thought my battery had died. So yeah, as I was saying, don't do this for fame. Don't do this because you want to be popular. There are many other ways to do it, and if you're good at your job, you will be very popular at your industry itself. I mean, history has always shown if you're good at something, you do earn that name. So keep at it. If you want to do this, document your rides on YouTube and stuff like that, do it because you have a love for riding, because you like bikes, because you like touring or going for short rides or tracks, whatever. But don't think that you will have your 5 minutes to fame and that is your entire career. It's not possible. If you're wondering how can one do it without quitting your job, there are very, very good examples of content creators, good content creators actually, who do not have to quit their jobs or produce cheap quality content to stay relevant. One of them is Rucksack Diaries. If you follow her on Instagram, amazing. The Shyam and Mona, the husband and wife, they are running the page, and they are both working professionals. And time and time again, I distinctly remember somebody had asked her a question related to do I need to quit my job or something like that. And a very important thing that she said was, let's not demonize our 9-to-5 careers. They are what's making all of this possible. Sure, it can get boring, it can get annoying after a time, but at the end of the day, it's still helping you live your own dream. Your dream to travel anywhere you want, however you want. So my advice to anyone who's starting out or wants to do this, hasn't yet started, don't think that this is going to be a full-time gig. This can be something you do on the side and you do it really well. This can be something you do beside your job. Make it like a hobby, and trust me, you'll enjoy it more. You're not going to be worried about getting views, getting likes, getting subscribers and stuff like that. If you are enjoying truly, then you bring out content that resonates with other people. It's not plastic anymore, it's all very real, and real always connects with people. So yeah, if you're starting out, do it because you like it, not because you want something out of it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be a good content creator from a year from now, like good in the sense like multiple followers and craze on YouTube and stuff like that. I don't know, and I'm not worried about it, because the most important for me here is traveling, and that's not gonna stop because I don't have followers or because I don't have YouTube income or stuff like that. Nope. I bought this bike on my own money. I bought the gear on my own money. I got the camera on my own money. I wear a helmet this expensive on my own money. All of that has been made possible because of a stable income, a job. So it's not that hard. And as I keep saying, traveling is a choice. You can do amazing travel without spending a lot of money. You can, whatever your budget allows. If you want to go somewhere, don't just keep thinking about it. Take steps to get there, and you'll be thankful for it. Traveling always changes your perspective of things. You'll always be a better person because you've traveled. Because in a city or wherever you are used to a certain kind of lifestyle, used to seeing it, living it, all of that, and that becomes mundane, and you mold yourself in those ways, and then you never do something interesting for yourself or for anyone that you care for. So traveling always makes you a better person. It keeps you younger. Maybe not the skin, maybe not the bones, but your heart is always going to be younger. You'll always be thrilled by new things, and that's most important trait, to stay young. You can have the best looking body, you can have the best, most flawless skin, stuff like that, but it doesn't matter if your heart is not young. If you're suffering from inside, you're suffering. So yeah, that was the gyan for that. The other thing I would be wanting to say is I'm very grateful that I get to do all of this, have a career that I enjoy, a job title that I want to excel in, and I actively feel like I should keep upscaling, and I truly enjoy what I do. So there's always going to be that. I'm truly thankful to God and every other person who's helped me get here, because there's nothing called a self-made man or a woman. Trust me, most of you will be kind of offended by this, but there's nothing called a self-made man or a woman. You always have had help from someone or the other, someone who saw your talent, or someone just wanted to take a risk with you, someone who thought let's give it a shot, or someone who just said fuck it. It's these opportunities that make you and break you. Yes, you still have to put in all the work. It's still what you've done. I'm not taking that away from you. The work has to be done by you, and that's a given. You cannot escape from the work, but be grateful for anyone and everyone who's helped you, anyone and everyone who's critiqued you for being better or for being worse. No matter what the reason is, every little thing in life adds up to your growth. So be thankful and keep aspiring to do better. Having aspirations is a good thing. Being aspirational is a good thing. Be proud, don't be arrogant. Be proud of who you are and where you've come and what it took, from what was your journey like, all that. Be proud of it, but never let that become a point of differentiator between you and someone else. Never let that come in between your way to conversate with someone else. That is a very important thing you should remember. So yeah, I mean, grateful for everything I've gotten, and really happy I get to do all these trips. A lot of times I don't record or put them on YouTube, but I'll be more consistent, and yeah, there's that. And what do you know, we have just 80 kilometers left to go, so let's enjoy the rest of the ride. let's keep going. So far so good, and my riding gear is also holding pretty well. Like, it's comfortable. The rider pants are really comfortable, the shoes are comfortable. It's not biting at all, so that's a good thing. Yeah, there's that. That's a win. Oh, now you wear the helmet because the police is there. Nice. And look at them, don't care. This kid is going to become a future biker. He's fallen in love with the bike. He's been staring ever since the signal was red. So yeah, happy to help. Happy to help. Hope you become a responsible biker, boy. I wish the best for you. Yeah, it's getting hotter now, so oh, the time's come down from 1 o'clock to 11:58. Nice. Good pace maintained, no overspeeding done. Chacha definitely has something to say. So you're gonna be on YouTube, so look at the mustache on that guy. My god, amazing. Last stretch of highway that I'm going to travel on. I'm not counting the Hosur road, so I'm on the nice road now, which is nice, I guess. Sorry, I had to. Okay, why do cars have to slow down like in this area? I don't know, but whatever, man. You gotta be careful. Cars are driving on the shoulder. Like, imagine how bad the situation is. And then there are these guys with no helmets on the highway. How is that okay? How is that even the right thing? Jesus Christ. And the trucks are like a maze that you have to navigate. Fast and slow at their own pace. Wow, look at this trap. Like, please take right or left or whatever, man, but don't. But yeah, I think this is the nicest piece of highway exiting Bangalore, and I really like it. So almost there, 10 minutes more. I want to talk about this metro project basically. This is my proudest contribution to Bangalore. So when I started my career in 2017-18, I was in a construction company called ITD Sem India JV, which is responsible for building this metro. Not starting the metro, just the infrastructure, building the metro. And I was a part of that metro, and every time I pass by this, I feel really proud that I was a part of something historical and contribute positively to Bangalore. From my end, I was in admin. The heavy lifting was all done by the engineers, but you know, who keeps the engineers happy? It's an admin. So yeah, I mean, every time I see this project, I feel really proud, and I hope it starts up really soon so that everyone can, you know, really enjoy ease of commute with this. And yeah, I mean, hopefully they give blessings, which I get, whatever my quota is, please God. Yeah, I mean, it's something that makes me very proud. This is how I started my career. Of course, things didn't work out in construction, that's why I left. But I'll always be grateful for all the people I met there and lessons I learned there. It made a lot of difference in how I am today and who I am today. So yeah. Alright, now closing this Coorg series. We did a total of close to 600-ish kilometer up, down, and whatever travel we did there inside. And the bike has given me amazing mileage, amazing performance, and never fails to impress me. And yeah, overall it was a very good trip. I hope you guys will enjoy the series, and you know, let me know in the comments whatever your thoughts are, where I should go next. And yeah, if you guys want to join, feel free to let me know. If you're from Bangalore, let's go. With that, the Touring Master signing off. Have a blessed day ahead. Have a good ride.